situation. Every kid, learns at a different pace. Every kid learns differently. So if they're lagging behind, they're going to act out. So, take advantage of having an assistant in there, someone else in there to help you out with that. If you have a case where it just really is not getting better, you've tried everything, we want to help every kid and do the best that we can for the kid. But you can't have the entire class ruined because you're just trying to help the one kid. I mean, in a perfect world, you could. So if you have a kid that continually is misbehaving, you've tried everything, call Chris, let him know, and we'll send one of us. Last year, we were strapped with teachers and stuff. We were all teaching classes 5 days a week. We're going to be doing a lot more of going out and helping you with your classes, giving you more training, going there, helping, whatever you ongoing training, whatever you need. We'll be there. So call Chris and say, look, I have got this kid. I can't get him to sit down. I can't get him to be quiet. He keeps doing this, whatever. And then we'll come in and we'll go into the class. Maybe, we'll take that kid aside, talk to him. You can talk to the kid too, say, just after class, everyone's packing it up. Pull the kid aside and say, you know what, it was a really rough day today. Maybe you're just having a bad day, but we have got to get this fixed. If you want to stay in guitar class or violin class, you've got to get the behavior down. Yes?
I'm sorry, I just want to mention, it's kind of a little bit off subject a little bit, but among ourselves and among each other, you could say the kid this and this kid that, but when you're talking to parents or administration, the student, because that you just
The
want
student or the kid's name.
Yeah. You don't want to the parents, your kid did this, or
right.
Your child, you can say that word, child, is just a little more respectful to the people.
Right. So we'll come in and assess the situation. If it's a situation where we need to talk to the parent, then we'll go ahead. You need to, there are in cases, and it does not happen often, and we don't want it to be like, this kid got on my nerves, we're going to kick this kid out. But we had about 800 students last year, and just to give you a perspective, there were 2 kids that did get kicked out of the program because they would not behave. So it's a very small percentage, but there's a process that needs to go through. We learned this kind of the wrong way to do that. So, if you've kind of run to your wits' end and you don't even have to get that far, but you've tried what you can and it's not working, give us a call. We will come out, we'll assess the situation. Maybe it's something we'll just point out, maybe if you did this in class, or I think this is what's going on with the kid, try to work out a way. If it's just obviously not going to get fixed, we all know we have some of those sometimes, then the next step would be a letter home to the parents, a note home that says we've been having a behavior issue. This will be something that we will probably write out. We would need specific things from you as the teacher. What's the kid specifically doing? Are they talking out in class? Do they get up off the thing? Are they jumping off the stage? Are they, banging their instrument against the floor?
Are they making fun of other kids?
Making fun of other kids. So we need to detail things, because when you go to the parent, you can't just say, the kid's being bad, we want him out of the class. You can't, the parent wants to know why. And in some cases, you'll get a really, effective parent that comes in and can correct that situation. And they'll talk to the kid, and, that's pretty much it. And for the rest of the year, maybe all you have to do is say, gosh, I hope you don't have to talk to your mom again, and that will correct it. Some situations, though, talking to the parent does not do any good at all, unfortunately. And if what we do is give the kid, what did we say, 2 weeks to fix the behavior?
2 letters and then a phone call.
2 letters and then a phone call. And then if at that point there's no correction in the behavior, then we would excuse the kid from the class. We would tell the parents, you can no longer come to class.
Get the instrument back.
Get the instrument back, and then what we usually tell the parents is we're gonna give it 3 months. In 3 months, we'll try it again. 99.9% of the time, they are not going to try it again. But, you know, if that kind of timeout from guitar class is what they need and the kid comes back and there's no behavior issues, then that's good. The kids learned a life lesson, learned how to behave in class. Do you have a question?
Are we giving the letter directly to the parents? Because I mean, if you give it to the child and say, hey, take
Yeah,
it,
no,
it's not gonna work.
no.
That may not
Is
work.
it being mailed?
Is it being mailed or I mean,
Handed?
how is it going?
If it's a parent pickup situation, then you could just hand it to the parent and say, you know, we've been having a behavior issue. You know, I wrote it down on here, and give it to the parent that way. You know, say, hopefully we can work together. You know, put a positive spin on it. Don't just give it to them like, yeah, I'm sick of teaching your kid. Hopefully he doesn't come next week.
And don't give a letter or anything like this to a parent until you've talked to Chris about it.
Well, yeah,
Right.
it kind of
Right.
touches on something we were about to go over. I'll show you in the system. Any kind of an issue with pretty much anything, there's a form you can fill out on the teacher website. We're going to go over in just a minute. So that's one of many possible scenarios, like late pickup. The student has been there in a while, it's just a behavior problem. So you let us know, and it's easy to fill out forms. You would do that, and then we would help handle it from there. Every situation is going to be a little bit unique. Sometimes we have a student that acts up for a little while. We call the parents, talk to them, it's settled, the kid's like angel for the rest of the class.
Sometimes you can have a child that's wonderful and the parent drives you nutty.
And that's
You
an
just wanna
important
get
thing
rid of
to
them just
know.
because they
It
don't wanna
is
deal with that parent.
very, very important to us that our teachers feel respected and that you feel good about going. We had a case with a teacher down south. Kid was fine, no problems with the kid. The mother was atrocious. She would come in and just yell at the teacher every single week. She was always late to pick up the kid, and then she'd come in and she'd be mad at the teacher and just obnoxious and rude. And the teacher called me crying finally after several weeks, and she's like, I just can't deal with this. And she was like 9 months pregnant on top of that too. That was didn't help. But and so I called to talk to the parent and found out real quick what it was like to deal with this parent. And ended up, I told her, look, I'm sorry. I wish we could continue to teach your child, but I'm not going to let our teachers be treated this way. You're going to have to return the violin next week, and she cannot come back to class. You know, and that's a sad case for that child, and I felt bad for the child, but I'm not going to have the teacher go there and get yelled at every week. You know, that's just not acceptable. It did work out. The mom did call me later, and she's just like, I really want my kid there. I don't want you to have the kid come out. And I said, you can let the kid come back. You are not allowed to talk to the teacher. You're not allowed to, if you have any issue whatsoever, you call me and you deal with me. And she would come, she picked up the kid, and she didn't say anything because I told her, if it happens again, we're not going to do that because I'm not going to let the teacher be treated that way. So if you have an issue, Chris has had issues with parents.
They're really worse than any problems with students.
Yes. So if there is an issue where, a parent is just completely out of line and obnoxious, just, say, look, I really, don't want to argue with it. I'm following my policies. If you have any problems, please call the office. And you'll have little cards that you can hand to them. Handle it as politely, as diplomatically as possible, and just say, I'm doing what I need to do. Here's the number to the office. You can bring it up with them. They'll call me. Call me first. Call the office here first. Give me a heads up so that when the parent calls me and says, your teacher did blah, 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 I can say, well, no, this is what happened. You were 45 minutes late to pick up your kid, and, whatever the case may be. And then I'll deal with them. I'll take the yelling. Any questions?